right, good morning, everyone. Good morning to the panelists, Mr. Andrew Smith, Young, Mr. Jonathan Umbila. I can see him here, although his camera is not switched on. Nevertheless, we're glad to have you join us. Mr. Michael Kanyinda, manager of Michael Digital Service Web Agency. I'm glad to have you here for Project Rise. This is our second episode of Rise and Start BizTalks. So it's our second one. We had our first one some time ago, and now we're trying to see how we can move things forward. So indeed, we have begun the program. All right, so just some opening remarks. We have a video, a short introduction, a short video that we have prepared. So I'd like to ask the technical team if they can show us the video that they have in store for us. All right, so once again, I am extremely glad to have everyone here. It seems we already have 10 participants. Now, I would just like to give a short introduction of the event. So this is Rise and BizTalks, right? What do we do in Rise and BizTalks? Essentially, what we do here is we tend to talk about issues that are pertaining to young people. We try to see, have discussions, and perhaps try to bring like-minded young entrepreneurs, freelancers, business owners, basically people that have some kind of vision on what they're trying to do, and we try to see how we can spread whatever message it is that they have. So this is what Rise and BizTalk is for. It's just a small gathering, just a way for us, like-minded people, to get to know each other and to see our different point of views and how we can engage with each other in the future. Okay, so this is exactly what the program will be like. Essentially, what will be happening is it's quite short. We'll try to keep things simple and straight to the point. And then we have the actual reason we are here, the introduction of each speaker. You'll be given 10 minutes each to introduce yourself, your country, your business, your field, and you get to present your story. You get to share, how far you've come. Anyway, there are questions that will be provided for you, so let me not get into that. I think that is your cream of the crop. So, moderator introduction. Who am I? My name is Godwin Nkanta once again. I am a member of the Project Rise community. I'm currently the social media manager for Project Rise, Instagram and Facebook handles. I also like to help in any way I can. So I've been working with Project Rise for about close to a year now, and I have definitely had a wonderful time. I've been working with very excellent people, and I feel like I'm under a whole lot of guidance. And yeah, I'm really glad to be here, and I'm glad to share my own short introduction with you. Let's take a moment to introduce Project Rise exactly with a video. So I'd like to ask the Rise host, the technical team, to please get it ready. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for signing up. We are very excited for you. We believe that you are here for a reason. I think this is going to be your breakthrough to getting started on changing your destiny and creating the life you've always wanted.
But first, what is a Rise entrepreneur? A Rise entrepreneur is someone who takes personal responsibility for a problem that wasn't their own. While most of the world runs away from problems, we Risers see a problem and feel called to step up and figure out a way to solve it. Every good business starts this way, and that's how we're going to transform Africa, together. Rise is building a movement of young entrepreneurs who take responsibility rather than being victims to circumstances. who looks for a solution rather than making excuses, who focuses on what they want rather than why they can't, who creates their own destiny by putting in the daily work. This is the Rise mentality. Are you ready to set aside your doubts, your fears, your excuses, and why you think you can't? Because you're not alone. Because together, we can.
Listen, we understand very well it's not easy to start your own business and to be an entrepreneur. There's a lot of information out there that can be very confusing and you don't know where to start. Or maybe you don't have access to the right information. Maybe you're worried that entrepreneurship is not for you, that you keep pushing it off, and maybe it's too late to get started. Maybe you think you're not smart enough. You've been told your whole life that you'll never aspire to anything. You have no support. The people around you, the government, no one's helping you find the resources and accessing the tools that you need to succeed. You believe that you need a lot of money to be able to start a business. And that's just not true. There's a lot of people out there who have become successful with zero capital. You just need to know how. You need the right strategy. And that's why we're here to help you. That's why we created this special event, so that you can overcome everything that's challenging you and make it easier for you to succeed. My name is Steve Winter, and I am the project manager of Rise. At Rise, we believe that entrepreneurs called by a higher purpose have a unique mission to impact the lives of the people that they've been called to serve. And our job at Rise is to help you navigate your calling so you can have the right strategy, leadership skills, and skill sets needed to succeed.
There are many ways for you to grow with us. Whether you want to develop your professional skills at Rise University, or connect with other entrepreneurs at Rise and Start Biz Talks, or get smarter daily on our social media posts, or learn new skills fast with our Accelerated Skills Learning Program. We got you covered.
Thank you very much for participating in this awesome program. On behalf of Rise, welcome.
All right, let's give a warm round of applause for that sweet talk. That was done by our project manager, Mr. Stephen Winter. He's actually the one that got me into Project Rise in the first place. So as you can see, Project Rise is essentially the whole network of young people. We like to assume, essentially, we feel that there shouldn't be excuses, especially here in Africa, where there are many problems that are stopping young people from moving forward in their financial lives, in their educational lives. We feel that Project Rise can be that bridge. Project Rise can be the organization to help these young people. We can come up with excuses all we want, but nevertheless, it's possible. If it's possible, we can do it. So that is what Rise is all about. And that is Rise and Biz Talks, as you can see, is just one of the little things that we like to do. We like to bring in successful people, people that have a vision, people that are entrepreneurs, or people that are even just wanting to start. And, this is a way for us to really, share the insights that we have, the information and the insights that we have essentially to other people that may want to take that particular path in life. So this is what Rise and Biz Talks is all about. Once again, I'm very glad that you all are here watching us. Okay, now it's time to introduce each speaker. So these speakers, they have been selected by several of us, and we felt like, of course, if we are going to share knowledge, we felt it should be coming from a credible source. And this is why we have these speakers with us here today. So the first speaker I would like to introduce, he seems he's here with us, Mr. Michael Kanyida. He is the manager of Michael Digital Service Web Agency. Then we have Mr. Jonathan Lumbila, who is an entrepreneur in business, commercial photography, videography, and content creation. Funny enough, that is actually what I'm into. And I'm really glad to have someone perhaps with even more experience here joining us in Rise and Biz Talks. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Michael Kanyida to start. So you have 10 minutes. Yes. Enjoy the warm.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Godwin. I'm very glad to be here with you. Very glad to be introduced to this program. Well, I'm Michael Kaninda, as said before, an entrepreneur, web designer, web developer in Cape Town. I've started my journey 3 years ago. I look forward into the design process or design development of websites. When I wanted to to switch my passion, I can say that because I was once in video editing, and then I switched into web development because I liked it more than video editing. So I created my first website, and then from there it was a very big passion for me. I'm very passionate about creating and bringing to life new ideas. That's quite what I can say about myself, and I wish to bring more and a good idea to everyone who's watching us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. I'm so glad that you joined us. Web development, that is something that even I myself, I'm kind of wanting to get into. So I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad to hear what insights you have. So I would like to introduce the next speaker here with us today, Mr. Jonathan Lumbila, who is an entrepreneur in business, commercial photography, videography, and content creation. Mr. Jonathan Lumbila, it is wonderful to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes, I can hear you.
So, as you guys know, my name is Jonathan. I'm an entrepreneur. I normally consider myself to be a serial entrepreneur because I run a few businesses. So I'm an entrepreneur. I run a few businesses, with mainly being content creation, photography, etc. for businesses and brands, etc. And I also did a few online stores as well as there's quite a few things, but you guys can learn more about that later. Yeah. So,
all right, thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan Lumbila. Thank you very much for your introduction. I'm glad to have you here. We do have videography and graphic designing as one of our courses in Project Rise University. So we're really glad to hear what amazing insights you have for us. And now the last person who just joined us now, Mr. Andrew Smith, who is a CEO at Kudi Merch Clothing Company. Mr. Andrew Smith DeYoung, I'm glad to have you here with us. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
It's amazing. I'm so humbled to be here and excited in the most humble way. And like you said, I'm Andrew Smith, and I'm the CEO of Kudi Merch. And what Kudi Merch does, it's a clothing line. It evolves itself in all kinds of wares, from the t-shirts, the hoodies, the stockings, the pants, the jackets, all kinds of wares you feel like someone can be on. So yeah, that's what we do. And I started this business some time back when I was actually 22 years, and it's been a 2-year journey now, and a successful one. So yeah, I'm so grateful to be here and to meet young entrepreneurs just like me. I mean, people who are out there not resting, who are chasing dreams, and who are believing in themselves that one day, one morning, things are going to be better, because that's the kind of person I am. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here and to share and also listen and learn all kinds of ideas from all different sides. I'm pleased to be here.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Smith. A clothing line, maybe you could make me a nice suit. Definitely I'll wear one for the next Rise and Biz Talks. I'm glad to have you here with us. Now it's time for the Q&A session, right? This is the session where we essentially ask some questions to each of these different panelists to see, this is where the insight part comes in. So I'll be asking these questions. Some of them are questions that were gotten by our audience. We asked like a survey, what questions would you like to hear? And these are some of the questions that people were giving us. So I'd like to invite Mr. Michael Kanida again. We'll take it right from the top. Mr. Michael Kanida, we'll start with you. We'll give you the questions. It's 3 questions actually. Okay, sorry, it's 5 questions, and you have 10 minutes to answer them. So you'll have to make use of your time wisely. Okay, so the first question. If you were to start your business all over again tomorrow, what are the 3 steps that you would take?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. First thing, I will make a clear plan of what I want to do. That will be the first thing that I can do. And second, I'll focus on only the content management system that I want to use. The content management system is a kind of software or a website that helps a web developer to create a website. So there is many of them. Then if I have to start it over, I will only focus on one of the one that I will be using throughout my journey. And third thing will be I will focus on getting clients and making things happen. That's
All
what
right,
I
thank
can
you
say.
very much. Okay, let me ask the second question. We still have 10 minutes under the clock. So let's deal with Mr. Jonathan Lumbila. So Mr. Jonathan, so how did you get the motivation to start your work? How did you just wake up in the middle of the night or in the middle of the morning and decide, hey, you know what? I'm starting a business today. So what was the thought process?
So I think there's a massive misconception there in terms of waking up in the morning. I understand your question. However, people don't generally just wake up in the morning and say, hey, I wanna start this business, you know? So it's a process, number one, and a process maybe that can take years and sometimes months, you know, sometimes weeks or days. However, for me personally, I've run through many businesses in order to be where I am currently. So to answer your question, I think it has always been in me to be very business orientated. So one day over a period of about 2.5 years, I was taking photos for fun, right? Eventually I said, hey, why not make money for me? So then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this professionally. And so I then did start out professionally, etc. And then that's how basically the idea of having this business came about. Prior to that, there was many other businesses. With that, it was a process. It was a thing of what do customers want, what businesses are doing well right now. So a lot of research had to go behind having an idea for a certain type of business. So with that, I think it has always been in me to have a business, and it's just been a passion for me ever since I was a young age. And yeah, so I think that basically answers your question, if it does.
All right. No. I think that's a good answer. However, I just wanted to ask, so just for the sake of our viewers, to make it a bit more simple, should we say that since you started out for fun, right, do you think that anyone that's entering a certain field should at least do it for the sake of passion, you know, not just the money? Like, for instance, if you are entering a field, perhaps since you enjoyed photography at a young age before, that's why you kind of see it as a way to earn money, right? Because you enjoyed it, right? So what do you think? What does that say for other people that want to enter a field? Do you think that they should first find a way to enjoy it?
That's a very good question. And I think it's a question a lot of entrepreneurs or startups want to actually ask themselves. So my answer to that would be, you've got to love what you are doing, right? What you can do is, if you want to start a business, just go ahead and start. Whatever idea seems ideal and seems practical and seems like it can work, go ahead and start the business. Because the thing is this, even if you are doing the wrong thing, it will lead to the thing that you actually ought to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
So in terms of starting a business for passion or without passion, I think start the business, whether you're passionate about it or not. However, if you do know your passion, think of ways of how you can monetize that. And I'll explain to you why I said passion is really important in having a business, because there's a thing called resilience, right? And there's a thing called hardship. There's a thing called perseverance in business. And for me personally, what has helped me overcome those things is the passion that I have for what I'm doing. Also, there's times where you're going to have to do certain things at a discounted price, certain things for free. And that period of time, you're going to have the love for what you are doing. Because if you're going to do something for free, and it's a business that you do not love doing, then you are not going to be able to do that because you're not passionate about it, right? Does that answer the question?
Yes, I think that does. So essentially, there should be some kind of love for the business, you know, after all, because if you do face resilience and hardships, I think passion is the thing that will keep driving you forward, you know, despite this. Let me ask you the last question. After that, we'll move on to Mr. Andrew Smith. So the last question is, what was a difficult challenge that you personally faced and how were you able to overcome it?
So in the media and photography space, the most problematic thing that I had, or the thing that was a massive challenge for me, was the ability to be multiple places at once. Because when you get bookings, you have so many people booking you. Sometimes the days can clash, right? And you'd have to find a way to get yourself in different places at the same time. So you'd obviously just have to like hire out people, hire out talents and stuff, send them there, send them here, send them there, right? So that was okay. Let me answer this question with a startup, because I think many of our audience is in the startup phases. So the biggest challenge that I had with starting out was finding the right idea, right? Something that people would basically pay for. That was the most challenging thing that I faced. The most challenging thing that I think many startups face is finding the idea, the product or the service people are willing to pay for. So with that comes a lot of research. What I did was I looked at people that were doing what I'm doing and saw what people were paying for. So when I saw what people were paying for, I then used that to basically start out what I wanted to start out. Make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. So I think this is something that a lot of us, even I myself, sometimes struggle with: time management and also location-based, where you have to be in like two places at once or be doing 2 or 3 tasks at the same time. So yeah, I guess this is where time management comes into play. Also delegating, like you said. So once again, I'm really glad to have you here. And please let's give a warm round of applause for Mr. Jonathan. Thank you very much for your insights. I hope those of us that are here, we've learned a thing or two. Okay, now it's time for us to move on to Mr. Andrew Smith. Mr. Andrew Smith de Jong, your question time has reached. Hope you're ready. So the first question: how did you decide that your product or service was the best option for your customers?
Yeah, well, it comes from a taste of fashion, I would say. And ever since I grew up as a kid, I like to believe and to understand that I had very good taste in dressing, from the start. Before I understood the word fashion itself, from dressing, I would literally understand that, okay, now I look smart for this kind of occasion, or I look fit for this kind of occasion. So it kept on growing like that. And I would always be, spotted different if we took a picture with a number of people and the kind of way we're dressing. I would always be spotted out different. So my love for fashion grew like that. And furthermore, I went on to be enticed by the most trending outfits, or maybe people who have fashion companies. So I started to pick inspiration like that. So as I picked inspiration from that, I had to understand that, okay, if this is something I like, I feel the need to spread it out to the world, spread it out to people out there. Everybody as long as you're gonna decide to live or stay in the house, you're gonna have to dress. So understand that I can make money out of it. The desire for money, I also wanted it, because from when I was young, I wanted to be rich. What I like the most, what I like to do more, and how I want to become being rich and what I like to do the most. So the best way I could fit the world is through this, the idea of fashion, and people like to dress. So the same way I can also, engrave money from it. But of course, money has to, to step aside and, focus on feeding the people what they need. So yeah, I discovered that clothing and what could be a product that I would take out to the world. So that's how I came up with it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. So in a way, you too, fashion was kind of like the driving force. And then also, of course, everyone wants to have some money in their lives. Everyone wants to ball. So yeah. I'm really glad that you've given us your answer. Okay, so let me ask the second question. What character trait do you think is most important in starting a business? And what daily habit do you use to strengthen that said habits?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question. I'll start first from the character trait. When you decide to jump into business, you need to understand that there's a lot of pain in it. And that's the last thing people see. So you have to know, or you have to be able to endure pain. That's the first thing. And when you learn how to endure pain, when you calculate a project in the business and you feel like it's the best way that you're going to drain some money out, build the business bigger, one profit. Instead, it has brought in losses. You're not going to go home and sleep, and cry the whole day and not come back. Maybe you may have that, but you're going to, and then turning the pain into what? into strength, into something you're going to profit out tomorrow. And how to maintain this character. I have very many groups of friends. We meet different people during the course of life, because as I grew up, I did a lot of sports. I enjoyed a lot of music. I enjoyed hanging out a lot with friends. But the moment you understand what you need in life, you step aside and be like, okay, if I'm gonna need to achieve this, there's some things that I have to outgrow. I have a very inspiring story that I had from one of my mentors. He told me about an ego. An ego, I don't want to use a lot of time, but this is gonna be very important for us. An ego flies, when an ego starts to age, it flies and isolates itself into the mountains. And what does it start to do? It starts to, peel off its scales, to bring up new ones, and then scratch off its beak to bring up a new beak that's going to be really sharp for its prey. So it's going to come back different. It's going to come back really, really, really stronger than how it was. You understand? But by the time it was doing all that, it's not easy. Whenever it's trying to scratch off the beak, it's bleeding. It's going through all this kind of pain. But after all this pain, it comes back strong. So this is what you do. You isolate yourself and then focus on what's going to make you better. If you've been doing a few things that are wrong, that are going to take you out straight, you're going to have to cut them out. You're going to have to stop hanging around. You're going to have to, stop doing things that are kind of irrelevant, that are not in the direction of what you want to do or what you want to be business-wise. So that's how you mold yourself, you adult yourself. Most of the time when we talk about being mature or adult, we think it's about age. It's no longer about age, because I believe in business, the earlier you start, that's how far you're going to be, or that's how big you're going to be. So you're not going to wait until you're 30 to start a business. You understand? You're not going to wait for that. Otherwise, you still have a long time to be rich or enjoy the things you want in life. But the kind of age I'm at is the age where we see most of the youth hanging around, going here and there, being part of each and every kind of event. And it is so hard to hold back and be like, you know what, I'm going to stop myself from doing this. I'm going to stop myself from doing this and focus on it. But that's a character trait, and maintaining it is doing it every day, and doing research, reading, following up on the best business people in the world. Follow up, do research, put down notes. I mean, step out, do your thing. You get it? So yeah, that's how we can maintain a character trait.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. So essentially, other than just turning your pain into, or your anger or your frustration, turn it into something good, right? That emotion of loss, you should turn it into something productive. I think that is something that a lot of us can really agree with. I definitely agree with that, because I think no matter what business you're starting, there will always be loss. There is no business that will 100% work out, especially in its infant stages. So having the ability to turn your pain into something productive is really is a very helpful tip. And keeping track of yourself, knowing yourself, of course, even having the connections with people that can lead you to greater heights, that is also a very good way to strengthen your business. All right, so maybe let's just go for the last question, since because of time, maybe this one we can keep it really short. So how did you start your business financially?
Financially, I would say I was at the point where I was, getting enough pocket money back in school, but then I didn't have any idea on how to start a business, to be honest. And even when I was in school, I never liked math subjects or science subjects, you understand? But I reached this time when I'm at the university and I'm receiving a lot of pocket money, and I feel like I can do something with it other than spending it. So this is when I remember, I wanted to start up something like this, like a brand, a merch for the people to be putting it on out there. So yeah, I used part of my pocket money and got into the business. That was just for the start. I got into the business, I bought a few products, started posting them up, called people to buy them. And that was my set off. But it didn't really go so well from the start. But yeah, that's how I started up financially. And I went on to do fundraising. And I went on to, involve angel investors. So it was a gradual process of, bringing in money, because this is a business whereby you need, I don't want to say really a lot of money, but of course you need it. But because you're starting, you just need to find a way to generate money. So I did the fundraising, and I did that pocket money for my own money. And I did the, calling upon the angel investors, call upon somebody to invest in your business. So yeah, that's how I did it financially. All
right, thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. Really glad. So essentially, if you don't have money, you just have to fundraise. You just have to find a way to get it done. You may be opportune to have enough pocket money. For those of you, our audience that are watching, it might be opportune continue to have enough pocket money. But if you don't, remember there's more than one ways to raise capital, and you just have to have enough passion for it. Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Andrew. We're glad to have you join us for this Rise and Biz talk. Okay, now let's go back to Mr. Michael Kanida. Mr. Michael, are you here with us?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes. I was just,
All right.
I think, affected by the load shedding. Load shedding affecting us in South Africa. So,
All right, so next question, since you already answered the first, let me ask, what was a difficult challenge that you faced when you were starting, and how were you able to overcome it?
okay. So the difficult challenge was to get and convince clients. And then the way of overcoming that was to try in different ways. I remember I had a very, very difficult month when starting the business. I was trying to reach out to people and trying to convince them, but it was very hard. And then someone told me that yes, live in a land of no. So you just have to find it, which means you're gonna have to try many times to find yes, as a yes, I will do the business with you. And it's going to be difficult, but because it is living in a land of no, a lot of people will say no. And then after that, if you discourage yourself, and you're not going to be having to find yes. So I try hard and try in many ways. This is how I overcome it. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Michael. All right, and that's it for all our questions today for this Rise and Biz talk. So let's give a warm round of applause to Mr. Michael Kanida for his wonderful insights. And I really hope and I pray that all our panelists here, that you all can move forward in your business. You can see greater heights, much success and prosperity wherever you go. And now it's time for an invitation to join Rise Nation with link. The link will be provided in the chats. So just go down to the chat. You will see the link to join the Rise movement, join the Rise Nation, see what we're all about, see what we're trying to do. Essentially all we do is we just try to help young people we try to raise young people, right? Give them the necessary digital skills that they need to move forward in their life. So this is what the Rise Nation is all about. So the link will be provided in group chat. Please check it out as we continue with the rest of the program. And now it's time for the IAYSP guest speech and also the invitation to join IAYSP. So actually, Mr. Stefan Winter, he was the one that was actually giving us the closing talk, but he is actually quite busy because he is running other errands along with Mr. Fortune Winter, who is also one of our managers here at Project Rise. So you've already heard enough from him. You've seen what he's all about. You've seen what Project Rise is all about. But nevertheless, allow me to give the closing remarks. I'm really glad to have you all here with us. I'm so exceptionally happy that you all took the time out of your day, out of your busy work schedules, to join us for this little simple talk where we could just share information. And mind you, this information will be shared with other people because we'll post this on all our socials. We'll post this on our YouTube channels, our Instagram channels, our Facebook channels. So yeah, people will definitely see your faces. They'll see what you're all about. And hopefully I pray that this brings even more connections to you all. This is what Rise and Biz Talks was created for, actually. So when will the next Rise and Biz Talks be happening? That will be happening on February 18, 2023. I would love to see you all there. Mr. Jonathan Umbila, Mr. Andrew Smith, and Mr. Michael Kanida. I would love to see you all there, perhaps with your own, perhaps workers or fans or whoever you may feel you need to participate. So once again, I'm glad that you have all been here. I would love to see you all for the Rise and Biz Talk. I may not be the one hosting, you don't know. You might see someone else, a new face, a new MC. But until that time, I hope that we can all be doing well. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. So February 18, 2023, please do not forget, that is when the next Rise and Biz Talks will be hosting. So once again, my name is Godwin Inkanta. I am your host for today, and I'm glad that you all had a wonderful time. So thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So the meeting is over. Perhaps our Rise host can play an outro song. Can play an outro for us before we close our meeting. right, everyone, have a wonderful day. God bless you all. I hope that you are all able to face your challenges in the future. Once again, God bless you all, and I hope to see you all February 18, 2023. Thank you for joining us for today's Rise and Peace Talks.